Hi, this is lesson 6263 part 2, which is the back side of the notes. And in this section, we're going to be talking about finding the area of the shaded region and some word problems. So the first one we're going to start about is the area of the shaded region. So to find the shaded area, what you have to do is take the total area minus the unshaded area. Okay, so let's look at our first example. Okay, so here on this one, the total area would be the big rectangle on the outside. And remember, for rectangles, you find the area by taking length times width. So my total area, so I'm going to use TA for total area. My total area would be 12 times 8, which 12 times 8 is 96. And then my unshaded area, so that would be the white looking rectangle. So I'm going to use UA for unshaded area. That would be 2x times x plus 1. So we're going to distribute here. And 2x times x is 2x squared. Remember, when you're multiplying, you add the exponents. And then 2x times 1 is 2x. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the total area, which is 96, and we're going to subtract away the unshaded area, which that's more than 2 terms. So I'm going to put those 2 terms inside of parentheses. And then you're going to be like, oh yeah, I have to actually subtract both of those terms. So I have to use distributive property with the minus sign. So we're looking at 96 minus 2x squared minus 2x. And then we like to have the answer written in standard form. So highest exponent to no exponents. So negative 2x squared minus 2x plus 96 is our final answer. So let's go to our second example. Okay, total area. Total area would be the area of Total area would be the area of the large rectangle. And so that would be 12x plus 4 times 4x minus 2. Okay, to multiply 2 parentheses together, I have to do a box. So I'm going to make my box here. Just like what we were working on in part 1. So 12x, 4, 4x, negative 2. 4x times 12x is 48x squared. 4x times 4 is 16x. Negative 2 times 12x is negative 24x. And negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. Then make sure you combine your like terms. So we're looking at 48x squared. And then you've got 16x minus 24x, and that is negative 8x minus 8. Okay, now that's just for the total area. Now the next thing we have to do is we have to go through and find the unshaded area. So my unshaded area, well, that would be x minus 2 times x minus 2. So we got to make another box for these. So x minus 2, x minus 2. And then x times x is x squared. X times negative 2 is negative 2x. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. And negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. So then we're looking at x squared. Combine your like terms. So negative 2x minus 2x is negative 4x plus 4. And then remember, we have to take the total area minus the unshaded area. And since there's more than one term on the unshaded area, I put that in parentheses, and then we have to distribute that minus sign. So total area, I'm not doing anything to that. 48x squared minus 8x minus 8. Now, when I distribute the negative sign, remember that just switches the signs, so it becomes negative x squared, positive 4x, and negative 4. Then you get to finish it up by combining like terms. So 48x squared minus 1x squared is 47x squared. Negative 8x plus 4x is negative 4x. And negative 8 minus 4 is negative 12. And you're done. So now let's go on to the word problems. Okay, on the word problems, right here we're given a picture of a cell phone, smartphone. It says it has a width of x and a height that is 1.8 times the width. The outer dimensions of the phone are shown in the picture. The top is 1.8x plus 3. And on the side, they say is x plus 1. Okay, it says write an expression for the portion of the phone that is not occupied by the screen, which is just a big fancy word for the shaded area, the black parts of the cell phone. And then as it says, go ahead and assume that this phone is going to make a rectangular shape. Okay, so we have to go with the total area, which would be the big phone, the whole phone itself, including all the parts. So that's going to be the dimensions they give you. So your total area would be 1.8x plus 3 times x plus 1. So once again, if we're multiplying two parentheses together, we got to make a box. So here's my box. 1.8x and 3 on the top, x and 1 on the side. So go ahead and multiply those together, and you're going to come up with 1.8x squared, 3x, 1.8x, and 3. And then combine like terms, so you get 1.8x squared plus 4.8x plus 3 for your total area. Now let's talk about the part that's not in the color black. That's considered the unshaded. So that's going to be the part where you get to see the time and the pictures and all that. And for this one, it tells me that the width is x. So that means inside here, this blue part, that is x. And then the height on the inside is 1.8 times the width. Well, if the width is x, 1.8 times x is 1.8x. So for the unshaded area, what we're going to do is we're going to end up taking 1.8x times x. Well, 1.x times x is going to give me 1.8x squared. And then remember, we have to subtract these. Okay, the unshaded area is just one term, so I don't really have to put parentheses around that. So now I'm just going to go combine like terms. And hopefully you're going to notice that, oh, 1.8x squared and negative 1.8x squared cancel each other out. So I'm just left with 4.8x plus 3. Okay, example number 4. We have a picture frame, and inside the picture frame, we got some dimensions and stuff going on. So it says the picture is 10 by 8, and the frame is X inches. Now, I know the markings on the picture can make this look deceiving, but remember, we're talking about the inside. When I have 10 down here, that's just the inside part. That's the picture. So that's the blue Super Bowl picture. So that's only from here to here. Right? And then it tells me that the width of the frame is X. So this little X, that's going to go right here on the side. Each side of 10, there's going to be X because you have a frame on the left and on the right side. And then, of course, the same thing will happen when we're talking about the side with the 8. The 8 is the inside because that's the picture. So that's from here to here. And then the frame will be on the top and on the bottom. So if I'm looking for the total area of the frame and the picture, okay, so what we're going to do on this one is we're going to look for the total area. Okay, so it says find the combined area of the picture and the frame. So right now, if I did just the picture, okay, if I did just the picture, the blue part, the picture itself would be 10 times 8. Okay, now if we did the picture with the frame included all that, okay, so now I know if I'm looking at the 10 inches, it's 10 inches across the bottom, plus I have an X on each side. So that would be like saying X plus 10 plus X for the entire bottom, which would give me 2X plus 10. And then we could do the same thing on the side. So on the side, you have X on the top, plus we have 8 for the picture, plus we have an X on the bottom. So add like terms, and that would give me 2X plus 8. So this part right over here, I got 2 parentheses, so I'm going to make a little box for that. So I got 2X and 10, 2X and 8, and then 2X times 2X is 4X squared. And then 2X times 10 is 20X. 8 times 2X is 16X. And 8 times 10 is 80. And then I'm going to combine my like terms here. And I'm going to do 4X squared plus 36X plus 80. And does everybody notice that this 80 is what you have right here? Because 10 times 8 is 80. And that's already included on my box. So a lot of people want to know, well, how is the picture included? Well, when we did the total area, we included the picture and the frame. So you will notice that 80 was inside our box. So this is our final answer.